Hello to the side and back. Welcome to Bubbly Toki. I am your host, Tokika Uzuru, also known as Toki. That is Loki, but with a T. Toki. I can't believe I keep saying that. And today, the day that I'm filming this, is Halloween. And what's scarier than talking about school? I'll wait. In fact, I can't. I can't wait. I gotta get this video out the way so I can go ahead and do all of my other chores. So the list that I have down are at least 10 things that I've learned from going through school. Full disclosure, I have only gone through public school. And although there are definitely stories, specific ones that I want to go ahead and turn into storytime videos, because either you'll get a laugh out of the things that I've gone through, or maybe you can go ahead and learn something from the things that I've gone through. Either way, oh, and I keep moving my head a bit more because ponytail, the braids, it's a thing. I personally like this style actually. I also did something new with my makeup where I didn't try as much to be dark. And other disclaimer, it's supposed to be storming today, so one, that's why it looks so gray, and two, if you hear thunder or you see me go ahead and look that way, it's because lightning, thunder. I'm not scared, I'm just intrigued. And the tea, as soon as I get it, that I'm drinking today is English breakfast because we need the energy. Now let's get started. Things that I've learned from going through public school. Number one, be nice to the authority figures, so like your teachers and the staff, but be neutral to the peers, aka the other students. One, you have the least amount of drama to deal with if you're neutral to everyone. You can also make friends that way. Like, you're not, if you're neutral is literally like being nice to everyone, then that is definitely, that's probably better than me. I just try to be respectful towards everyone first, and then I'm nice to them once I get to know that they won't go ahead and take my niceness as weakness. I can't actually count on my fingers the amount of time that has happened. Moving on. That will just help you out in the long run, especially going through high school. Ow. Number two, making a routine and sticking to it is important. And yes, it is. Because when you get out of school, you will have no one to tell you exactly what you need to do. You won't have as much structure as you did when you were in school. You wouldn't be able to go ahead and figure out what you need to do at that moment. A lot of people have dealt with this, and me personally, I did not know exactly what to do after I finished school. Like, I was lost. You couldn't have found me because I couldn't have found me because I was lost. Still am, but I'm actually doing things to go ahead and find out what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Next one. Number three. Get it done then and there or do it last minute. This is probably for all of the procrastinators or people that people that procrastinate a lot. It's either you get the work done then and there, like when it's given to you, or you wait until last minute to go ahead and get it done. There are definitely some people out there, and I'm confused, but also intrigued on how they can cut up like a project or something like that, into small bits and pieces that they can work on every day until the project is done, and still have enough time to go ahead and do special things with the presentation. I've actually had one of those students in several of my classes when I was in school, all throughout the entirety of my school career. Basically, yes, elementary, middle, and high school. And I believe I ended up becoming that person in high school, or tried my best to become that person in high school. I wouldn't say failed miserably because I passed, but again, you either get it done then and there or you do it till last minute. That way your brain is, it's bad to go ahead and try to do it last minute, because then your brain is literally like trying to shake itself into maximum overdrive, and that's not healthy at all for your mental state. Trust me, 3 Red Bulls later, you're going to either pass out of exhaustion or turn in the wrong project. Funny thing, I'm tangent. I've never had Red Bull. Does that make me quirky? Oh, you haven't drank Red Bull? No, I've drunk Monster before. And I don't like very sweet drinks at all. Number 4. When people say you are not there, you are not at school to make friends, it's technically a lie. As I go ahead and flip my ponytail back, knowing that I'm going to end up with the hair over there again. But yeah, it's technically, see, I told you, it's technically a lie. Your main focus in school is to learn how to solve problems, both by yourself and with other people. You're not there to make friends, but the school kind of makes it so you have to make friends. And I'm not sure about anybody else, but I think it's just people tend to gravitate toward me. My freshman year of high school, the first week, yeah, I didn't really have friends. I had people that decided that it was a good idea to talk to me, but I didn't really have friends. And then I made friends like the second or third week, and I'm like, I did not try this. I did not try any of this, but you know, you get friends. So yeah, although you have to go ahead and make friends with people because you have to make sure that you have connections if you're not there for notes, or if you didn't do the homework that day, or if you don't understand a certain thing. Why is it that I was always asked for why people always asked me for help when they didn't understand something? And I'm sitting, I'm like, I can't really explain it to you. I can't explain things. If my videos don't show that I can't explain things, I cannot. That's a tangent. Moving on. Number 5. You don't have to study. I'm putting it out right there. There are only maybe a handful of times, at least 3 that I can remember, where I actually studied for a test. Most of the time, me studying for a test is mainly spelling, because I cannot spell. I literally have to Google search the word just to make sure that I'm spelling it correctly. Ask my autocorrect if I am actually spelling the word correctly. Autocorrect is like, yeah, you are. You're good. And I'm like, cool. I'm still gonna go ahead and ask you this later on because it's not something that I can remember easily. But although people will suggest that you study for tests, and I do feel like if that's the best way you can receive information and be able to regurgitate said information, then yeah, you can go ahead and study if you want to, but you don't have to. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be stuff that you're going to go ahead and study all of the stuff that's not on the test, and you're going to have all of this random bits of information that you don't need because it's not going to help you in life, and it's not going to help you on the stupid test. Because all of these questions are going to be questions that you never really got the notes to go ahead and answer the questions. Henceforth, that wasn't on the review. Number 6, question everything, trust no one. I think this one's self-explanatory, actually. But I had story time. I had this teacher when I was in 10th grade who I had to literally question everything he said that wasn't already on the presentation for the notes we were supposed to be taking. Because either he had bad eyesight, or he was colorblind, or he just didn't know how to properly explain the colors that were on the screen, on the projector, and not on the screen on his computer, because those are definitely different types of colors. And you will always have to fact check, and I will also always have to fact check everything, because personally, I just didn't trust anyone at all. But especially in high school, where everyone's out for themselves, trying to think about things that'll better themselves, and if you trust no one, you can go ahead and get the information from the original source and then make your opinion about it after you get both sides. These are life lessons you learn in school that they are not originally there to teach you. I just noticed that it kind of looks like I'm squinting, but in actuality, I'm just smiling. I am smiling and I can see. It doesn't seem like I can see. I'm also going on a tangent again. Number 7, health is always important. For the person right now that is trying to go ahead and lose weight and has actually paid attention in the health classes that she has taken, health is always important. Your physical ability to go throughout life is always important. Why? Because you still gotta walk up and down stairs. People are gonna tell you to take care of your health because when you get older, you're going to either regret not doing so or thank the fact that you did it when you were young, that you did so when you were younger. So guess who's doing daily exercises and making sure that she gets all of the nutrients she possibly can? Being a vegetarian and not really having complete control over the food that's in the house. I'm fine. That sounded sarcastic. I am well aware of that. So, yes, health, as much as you want to go ahead and say it's not, is always important. Number 8, everyone's learning style is different. I was not able to learn my times tables or my multiplication table in 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. We were learning about multiplication and our times tables originally in 3rd grade, but I couldn't memorize them. They tried giving us, letting us look at the back of our composition notebooks. I always had to go back to it. They tried using a song to help us remember. I never remembered the song. I never remembered the times tables using the song. The song just wasn't that memorable. In fact, the only reason I knew my multiples of 5 and multiples of 3 was because there were songs that went along with it. Basically, Hello Schoolhouse Rock, and how I used that to memorize the multiples of 5 and 3, and also 11. By the way, I was doing this because I watch TikTok too much. That's another thing for another day. But yeah, everyone's learning style is different, and just because you learn something one way doesn't mean that person will be able to learn it that way as well. Me personally, I am a hands-on learner. I learn by doing. And that's how I'm able to, and that's why I don't have to study, because if I've done the work, I will remember that I've done it. Number 9, prom is not mandatory. Sure, if you want the experience of going to prom, you can go. But also, to add on to that, a date is not mandatory. For most people, they would rather go ahead and take a date. But 9 times out of 10, what's going to end up happening as a person that has a strict mother, I would go. I would spend maybe about an hour to an hour and a half there. I'd get unglammed up, undressed, get into my PJs, and go ahead and sit right in front of the frickin' TV, or probably my tablet, and binge watch Criminal Minds while my mom orders us some pizza or carry out. Do I want to go to any of the after parties, the after prom parties? No. Why? Because I don't really like parties that much. They kind of stress me out. Prom itself stresses me out enough. So yeah, prom is not mandatory. If you want to go ahead and experience it, you can. And to add on to that, as I said earlier, having a date to prom is not mandatory. Although if you want one, you can have one. And the last one for today, the last one for this video, is college isn't mandatory. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will go ahead and tell you different. In fact, I went to several different schools that has stated that college is definitely mandatory for getting a well-paying job in this economy. And originally, yeah, I believed that until I actually looked at how everything worked. Basically, you can get as many degrees as you want to. But the point here is that in order to get a job, you're going to need experience with having a job. And some companies don't want to hire people because for the type of job, you would probably be overqualified if you have like a degree in that field. So they probably wouldn't want to hire you because they would probably have to pay you a lot more than what they were originally offering because of the fact that you have so many qualifications in that specific field. All of the worth it degrees, the degrees that would actually get you a job, you have to stay in school for like frickin' what feels like decades in order to actually have a job later on. And I know most people don't feel like actually having to do that. Me personally, I hated the school learning environment. And I liked the fact that I'm able to research things that I'm actually, what was the word? Interested in. There we go. College is not mandatory, but if you want to go to college, do your research on how to do so without dealing with debt, or dealing with the least amount of debt as humanly possible. There will be some errors, there will be some mistakes. Take them and learn from them. And that is the last of the video. That is the last thing that I had on my list, and this is the last of, well, not the last one. I'll probably go ahead and make a part 2 later on when I find other things that I've learned in school that are not things that they should have been teaching me. And if you have any other either suggestions about stuff that I can go ahead and make a list on, this is all, that's mostly my opinion anyway. Feel free to go ahead and give me the topics down below in the comment section. I cannot speak English. Why did I decide to go ahead and start up a YouTube channel when I can barely speak English? And speaking in front of a camera is the least thing, is one of the things I am least qualified for. I am barely looking at the actual camera. I'm looking more at the screen. That was a tangent in itself. It's time to end this video. So, stereotypical YouTuber outro starts now. Like, comment, subscribe. You want to. I mean, if you want to. Any other updates that I gotta go ahead and say? No. Not that I remember. I probably should have written that down as well. Yeah, this week was just very, very hectic. Hectic as in it was all over the place. As this video and more likely my head. And I will most definitely see you next time. Next time. Tilky out.